the poor people and the middle class always feel like things are expensive. And the reason why they always feel like that is because they exchange their time for money. It also translates to part of their life for money, in exchange for money. Now, if they are using this money to make purchases or buy things, what it means is that they are using part of their life to make purchases. And if they say that things are expensive because they use part of their life to buy things, that's actually true. So if that's what you are doing, you've traded your time for money and then use the money to buy something. You have traded your life for money. So whatsoever you're going to be using that money to buy, that thing is too expensive. Like, I can agree with you that it's just too expensive. Whatsoever that is going to cost you your life, that thing, man, you might find a way to deal with it. And guess what? They will continuously become more expensive as time goes on, provided what you learn to do more is exchanging more of your time for money. As you exchange that time for money, it's depleting. You don't have much of it. Do you seriously feel like everything is expensive? You can't afford it might usually be your normal language, right? You feel like, I can't afford it, this is too expensive for me. If this is what you always feel, today I want to tell you the reason why you always feel things are expensive and you can't afford it. There are probably millions and billions of reasons, but one of the most commonest reasons I've found, I want to share with you today. Just like I've always told you, I always try to share what I learn and what I'm doing and how those things affect me and how I'm improving on it. Perhaps it could be like a hack to you. Of course, that's what I do. Just like a hack to you, you can use to change your life. So if you ever feel like things are too expensive for you, I want to tell you today that there are millions of people out there that never feel like things are ever expensive. And you can also become like that. That's who I'm trying to become. Perhaps I'm already becoming such a person. Always, it starts from mindset, but it's a lot of other reasons, especially why you might always feel like things are expensive, no matter how you work on your mindset, right? Let's call a spade a spade. So, what are those reasons? Well, I like to start today's presentation by bringing to your attention a powerful wealth principle that I've learned from Myron Golden. I don't know if you know him. You can go and browse about him. Myron, M-Y-R-O-N, Golden, normal Golden. The man is so powerful when it comes to financial knowledge and marketing, creating offers and all of that, right? So I want to share what I learned from him today that is related to what I'm about to present today. And he said, the poor people and the middle class always feel like things are expensive. And the reason why they always feel like that is because they exchange their time for money. Their time for money also translates to part of their life for money, in exchange for money. Now, if they are using this money to make purchases or buy things, what it means is that they are using part of their life to make purchases, right? And if they say that things are expensive because they use part of their life to buy things, that's actually true. They are right. Okay, so if that's what you are doing, you've traded your time for money and then use the money to buy something. Now you have traded your life for money. So whatsoever you're going to be using that money to buy, that thing is too expensive. Like, I can agree with you that it's just too expensive. Whatsoever that is going to cost you your life, that thing, man, you might find a way to deal with it. Now, a lot of you listening to me today are finding it difficult to actually deal with this. But that's why you will always feel like things are expensive. And guess what? They will continuously become more expensive as time goes on, provided what you learn to do more is exchanging more of your time for money. By the way, that time is limited, right? The time is limited. So each time you want to exchange it for money, you should know that you don't have much of it. It's depleting. Do you understand? As much as you exchange that time for money, it's depleting. You don't have much of it. So, and that's why before you realize you're already 40, before you realize you're already 50. Now, You can't do anything anymore. So if all you've learned to do was to exchange that time for money all these days and then use it to buy, and this, okay, let's get down to the lesson right now. Okay, my name is A. Kabir. If you are meeting me for the first time, I vowed some days back, and this is day 48, that I'm going to be having this live session every day until 1,000 days. That's almost 3 years of my life, and thank God, God has been faithful. You can see today is day 48 already, and for some of you that have been following me, I so much love you and I appreciate all your support, and we're going to do this together, right? Okay, let's go. And what were we saying? Now, if you notice something, if not more than 90% of people on earth today, I don't know, I don't have the accurate statistics, so don't quote me, but I know that the larger percentage of people on earth today exchange their time for money. The limited time we all don't have much. Do you understand? And if you are the type that belong to that caliber, the poor people, the middle class, and you never try to find a way to pull yourself out from that cycle, then there's every possibility that whatsoever you touch will be too expensive for you. Because what it means, like I've said earlier, is just like using your life to buy that thing. You should begin to look at it that way. And by the time you visualize it that way, and that's the truth, it might make sense to you to begin to think of how to shift from using some other things to make purchases, but not your life. Now that's what the billionaires, the millionaires are doing. The rich people, that's what they are doing. You see, it's an interesting journey that I've embarked on, and I've always encouraged you that, look, personal development is one of the best things that have happened to my life. Trying to learn things and begin to pay attention, observe why things happen the way they happen, and what you can do to change your situation. This is just too powerful for anybody as a journey to embark on. And by the time it's hard though, but I can assure you that staying back is actually harder than getting started. Do you understand? Now, so these are some of my observations when it comes to exchanging your time for money. Do you know that? Let me make it practical for you. Okay, I have a carton here. This is a phone, right? Let's assume this is a phone. Are you following? Now, and let's assume this is the money I was giving after exchanging my time for it. This is the money, right? Okay. Now, if the best thing I know how to do is to always exchange unlimited time limited time I have for limited resources like money. Money is also limited in a lot of ways. And then once I get this money, what I do is I also go and buy things that are depreciating, not an asset actually. Do you understand? Like things that are either liability or they depreciate in value. Okay, your phone in a lot of ways can be a very big liability to you if you don't know how to make money from it. If you buy a car today, it can be a liability to you or an asset to you. By the way, I don't believe in looking at things like a liability until the user makes it a liability. My phone today has been my office since I left my lecturing job, and it has earned me millions and millions of naira, and it's still counting until I get to that level of billionaire status, and I'm going to achieve it very soon, right? So now, but for you have the same phone in your hand. This phone is my office. That's where I sleep. That's where I wake up. That's where I live. That's where my customers live. We are happy there. Sometimes when I imagine the caliber of people I have right here on my phone that I deal with every day across Africa and even beyond, people that I never would have seen their faces probably, and for years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, we have been talking, we have been making deals, we have been making transactions, transferring money, but I've never met any of them. Even I have not had the opportunity of seeing some of them on pictures. It's that powerful. Do you understand? So, but for you, you have this same phone, but the only thing it can do for you is to snap pictures, to go and gossip, go to groups where you go and chat and waste the remaining precious 24 hours after selling some parts to other people and take money. Then the remaining one, you waste it either in groups that are irrelevant. Let me tell you what happened by the end of the year 2020, while I was beginning to start my wealth creation journey. Guess what I did? I had some groups. In fact, I created a particular group where they do only jokes. Like, we only share jokes on that group. We call it health and jokes. For some of you that have been my follower over the years, you would have seen that that's one of the most powerful groups ever that I've seen myself. I can feel it. Do you know that at a point, I think that time WhatsApp have some specific number of people that you can admit into a group. The first group filled, we had to extend to the group 2. And do you know, I inspire people so much that I am not so jovial. Like, I am not a joke person. Like, I can't crack jokes much, but I inspire people to be able to crack jokes in that group. So powerful that many other persons keep coming in. Please, this is my sister, add him up. This is my brother, add him up. Add her up. This is my brother, add him up. This my uncle. Like, just even people that are far ahead of me. I had this particular guy then. I don't know where he lives, but he said he lives outside Nigeria. Do you know that sometimes when we are doing some celebrations on that group, he will send money down. Like, we celebrate people's birthday, we celebrate the beautiful. In fact, we have the queen and the king, even the prince and the princess of the group. So we create this amazingly in such a way that we celebrate people, and people throw money, like they send money to my account. And do you know, that time I was so, people entrust me with their money, and I know how to share this money to go around people that become first when we are doing beauty contest in a group, WhatsApp group. I don't know that. Do you know that even money was coming, but I was not even after the money. I was just doing it because, like, I feel I should just be doing things like that. But it was entirely waste of money and time. Sorry, waste of time, because I was not actually benefiting from it. I just create that time and waste. So as much as possible, people should learn how to make use of their time. So I had to close down the group. Like, the reason why I brought this story is that perhaps you are doing something similar. If you have any event or whatsoever you are putting your hands that you know that this thing does not have impact in your life, begin to pull yourself back now. That's why probably you keep complaining that you don't have much time, because time is limited. It's a limited resources, and it's one of the most valuable resources you can ever have on the planet Earth. So you might not want to exchange it for money. Rather, you look for things that can easily be exchanged for money and can earn you multiple. Because, do you know, another thing to consider is that we have millions of people with the same time willing to offer it for the same amount of money that you are willing to also offer. So somebody is distracting me here. So you find out that you can now be able to do meaningful things with your time if actually you are able to manage it and claim it back to yourself. Do you understand? So I began to leave the groups. Like, people were like, boss, why are you leaving the group? The group admin has left, and the group almost scattered. But I told them that I've seen a new vision, and I'm now learning how to convert my time to be more valuable. Because those things were like distraction, and I'm not earning from it, and I don't see any future or vision in it. So I had to remove myself quickly. Do you understand? I left so many groups, even some that were actually impactful, but I had to leave because I don't have anything doing there. I don't have any role. I don't have any direct beneficial from what the time was used for. So do you know what I do these days? I question even this 30 minutes I've come to spend with you every day here. I question it. What is the value in it for me and for my audiences? I know that some of you that will continue to follow me until the next 3 years, you're going to see how this story will turn out. You probably will come to this video one day myself. I will say, oh, this was how I get started. Do you understand? So your time is so valuable. Now, for most of the poor or the middle class, what they know how to do best, when they sell that time, that's part of their lives, to earning little income. Of course, most of the money they are going to be giving you is never going to be much. It's never going to be able to solve your problem. Your boss or your owner of the organization can never earn as much money to be able to give to you to become wealthy. They can only give you little of what they have earned, the much they have earned. It's a game. It's a game. And the better, the earlier you learn how to play it, the better for you. You probably will just complain, but no, don't complain. Learn how you can also, how you can also use, apart from your own 24-hour, if it's not enough, because the journey started from you using your time judiciously. That's when you can now be able to see, okay, I've invested my time wisely. Now that my time is not enough for me, how can I invest in using some other people's time? Perhaps your time is productive to an extent that it now earns you substantial income, and you can extend that income to some other people who can now, because of the pay you are giving them, sacrifice their own time for you. It's a journey. Do you understand this? So once you are taking pay, this is a money, you are exchanging your time, part of your life, to take this money, and what you do is to use that money to now buy things like either liability or a depreciating asset. Liability means that thing continuously take money away from you after even purchasing it. I don't know if you get. Anything you have in your life that takes money continuously from you, I don't care what it is. You can mention it, you can list them down. But if those things continuously take money away from your pockets when you have them, those are liabilities. And I found out that the poor have so much liabilities. They don't literally even know what it means. But they can go as much as acquiring even liabilities that were not initially supposed to be theirs, because they don't know what it means. And by the time you acquire so many liabilities or depreciating assets, okay, another name for it is depreciating assets, in the sense that, okay, if I buy this phone now, with time, of course, it's gonna be losing value. You can buy phone today and go back to the same place that you want to resell it. I tell you, the amount which you buy it might either reduce by quarter or even half. In most cases, the same person that sold it to you that you have not even used and you came back is going to depreciate. Now, if you buy a car, using it for some time, you want to resell it, it's the same thing. Now, those are actually like an asset. I call them depreciating assets because there are things like my phone now. I can't just look at phone and say is what? What do we call it? Sorry, distraction. I can't just look at my phone now. I will say that is a liability. It's not. My phone is a complete asset. Complete asset. And that's where I earn millions and millions of naira from. And I'm still earning. But for you, your phone might probably be a liability. Do you understand this now? So what we are saying in essence is that if you want to be rich, you want to be wealthy, or you don't want to touch anything when you go out there to buy things and say this is expensive, then shift your mind from exchanging your time for money and now exchanging value for money. Solve problems for money. Let me tell you the trick and the hack. As much as possible, if you can exchange value for money, the more value you can add to people's life, and this has to do with people, obviously, the more value you can actually exchange or you can use to help people, that's how much money rewards come to you. How much rewards come to you in form of money, in form of wealth. Do you understand? So And just as value can come in form of problem solving, it can come in form of products, in form of services, and so on and so forth. I don't know if you understand. You see, there's so many things you can involve yourself into getting value, and there are so many places where money hides. Do you understand? If you have an idea, that's already wealth. Money is hiding there. There's nobody in this world that God has not blessed with talents, gift of one thing or the other. And by the way, sometimes this wealth or this value or whatsoever that is supposed to be your own wealth might come in form of a disguise, like how do they call it? Something in form of something that is not clear, that looks like is a problem. Do you understand? Like look like it's a challenge. Over the time, I've observed my 7 years old to be a noise maker. Now what I've tried to do is to convert his noise making abilities into selling, into marketing. Do you understand? Let him use that talking and the confidence he always have in himself to talking to people in terms of selling things to them. Now do you see how it works? A child who is not confident and a child who cannot communicate or is afraid of talking to people cannot easily sell a product. So do you see how that works? So that's why I said, now for some parents might think that this child is a noisemaker. Keep quiet, keep quiet. No, just help the child to be able to what? Convert their, probably what you are looking at as problem into something else that will help them, or help you, or help the society. Do you understand? So wealth can come in so many ways, opportunities, there's so many things. Do you understand? But you need to understand some certain principles that, look, those are the things that you can actually convert into wealth, that in such a way that you will now feel that things are not expensive, because you are not paid based on your time. There's a particular time, the first time I'll be feeling like, look, there's so much to do in terms of mentoring people, trying to help people. Just help people if you can, and as much people as you can help, as much likely you are able to get a lot of money. Because at times, do you know why I look at helping people as wealth is that sometimes even some of these videos I'm making now, somebody will get to watch it and he or she benefits from watching it. Now just imagine, maybe with time I have some products to sell, maybe my intellectual products like books. By the way, I've written one book already completed and it's already on Amazon. I call it online sales, right? Path to the easy path to something. Can I even remember, right? The proven path to wealth, the proven path to success in e-commerce, right? That's the subtitle. But online sales is the main title. A proven path to success in e-commerce, right? I'm into e-commerce, and that's the first book ever that I've wrote. And you can go to Amazon right now. Those are some of the secrets that we're actually using to do e-commerce, especially in Africa. So you can go check out for the book. It's just 12.5 USD, right? So now imagine I'm telling you about my book. Perhaps you are interested in some of the content that I've been doing so far and you love the book. You get in touch and you buy the product. Why? Because I helped you. And now you feel, if I'm giving you all of this value for free, what if you are not able to place money in buying one or two of my products? And now eventually you'll be helping yourself more. And I've given so much value there as well. Because as much as you get, the more you will want to get. And this is what I mean by, now you see, with this, I'm not selling my time for money. Well, you might think that I also use 30 minutes to create a video here, but this video can last here as far as life itself. So do you know, think about how many people will come across this video. Do you know, and life continuously. A distraction today, sorry about that. So life will continue and more people get to watch this video and act on it. So while I'll be sleeping, people are buying my product. So you can see I've distracted my time from my income. If you're a business owner, you probably have set a system where so many people work for you, exchanging their own time for money, the little money you're going to give them. That way too, you've created a system where even when you sleep, your income is not dependent on your time. Now, for you to go out there and try to buy something, do you see that you will not care because you have so much? You probably will definitely attain the level of what we call financial freedom with time. And this is how wealthy people behave. The more money they make, the more investment they do, and the more money that comes out of it. Of course, paying people to work for you is another form of investment. Going into real estate is another form of investment. Having intellectual property is another form of investment. So what the rich actually do is to have their money work for them, bringing back more money while they do little to nothing. For some of you that are interested in doing YouTube, of course I have some students under me, although I'm not taking at the moment, but I guide students to create YouTube channels and run faceless YouTube. And guess what? Once they cross the monetization level stage, they start paying them. I just earn little of what they are doing just for me to guide them. And that's generational income. And do you know, the little money that comes from one channel can be used to develop multiple other channels. And there are a lot of people that can do this willingly, of course. So what I'm saying in essence is that think more about things you can do without necessarily putting in your time to be able to earn income, instead of just selling your time for money. And you can start little where you are. It's just that you are not thinking, you are not paying attention. Do you understand this? So thank you for your time. Sorry about the distraction, the skipping in the video. Somebody was actually consistently calling me, and I don't want to stop my live session. And see you tomorrow. If you enjoyed this session, please don't forget to share with your colleagues. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. And let's do this again tomorrow. And until then, bye-bye.